Top of the morning, Lily. Dublin, Ireland, fella. What you gonna do? Yeah. You ready? I shall Smackdown review. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just went there. Anyway, 22nd of August 2025. Smackdown review. Wrestling's dead, guys. Wrestling is dead. But I will say this. I think this is definitely one of the better Smackdowns I've seen recently. But that's because the Smackdown recently... The Smackdowns recently have been so bad, right? They have been so bad, brother. Alright, they've been so bad. I mean, we literally give them zeros and ones. This might get a 2, who knows? But let's begin where we began. Damn it, got a few backstage spots. Just the people arriving to the arena. Do you care? Well, if you do, fair play to you. Because I, by God, don't. Joe Testor. My name's Joe Testori. And making her way to the ring will be a homegrown talent. Star. It's Becky Lynch. It comes Becky Lynch. She was like, right, I remember coming to this building as a fan. I went to the first live WWE show from Dublin. I remember Randy Orton making eye contact with me years ago. Changed my life. Brilliant. And then she's like, fuck you people. Should have a fucking parade for me. And then you cheer for fucking liar Valkyria. Fucking bastards. You should cheer for me, big time Bex. Why you like Bono? Why does fucking Bono get to wear his sunglasses inside? Bono, you're not a wrestler, Bono. Right? And then what happens? My very hot American husband, Seth frickin' Rollins. And it's like, how about you reel it in? Oscar Wilde and James Joyce, you're a bunch of diddy men. But you know the reality, Becky Lynch sucks. Right, that is the reality, and you know what? I think there might be a video on her coming soon. 10 reasons why she sucks. She called CM Punk old, so I'm sure he took that bad. She mocked like Katie Taylor, a few rugby players. She says, "Oh, I don't see my face anywhere." You'll know why you don't see your face anywhere, Becky. Right? Because the reality is, you're a nobody. You are a freaking nobody. See, like Katie Taylor, right? I mean, fucking likes of her, Conor McGregor, Bono, they're known worldwide, literally worldwide. See Conor McGregor, right, walking around Dublin. Who's not going to recognise Conor McGregor or Bono, right? If Becky Lynch walks around Dublin, folks, everybody, more or less, is not going to know who it is. Because guess what? The vast majority of people don't watch wrestling. And people that did watch wrestling watched it when it was better and it was actual stars in it, not jobbers like Becky Lynch. So, and I know she's cutting a heel promo here and there. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, even though I know what she's doing here. It's getting heel heat, but she's a jobber. That's my point. Out comes Tiffany. Becky. Then Nia Jax. Tiffany. And then you start beating up Tiffany. Her and Becky start beating up Tiffany. Then it comes Jade Cargill. Nick Aldis came out. I was with an English accent. Becky, I was just off the phone with Adam Pearce. And tonight it's going to be Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton versus Becky Lynch and Nia Jax in an impromptu tag team match. Slap the fucking head clean off you, Nick Aldis. How about that? That's what I would do to him. Diddy, man. Backstage, you've got Carmelo Hayes speaking to Axiom and Nathan Fraser. What a tragic state of affairs this is. Carmelo? The Miz? Well, you know, he's a bit of a schemer, isn't he? Aye. And then Axiom's just standing there. Senor. Anyway, Miz comes out, you know, he's got to ring off his accomplishments, but then he doesn't really get to do it. And then we get Motor City, take it on the mellowed out Miz. I have fucking done about a million different accents in this review so far, but either or, the Miz and Carmelo Hayes win. If you think I'm fucking talking about this, then you need your help looked at, my friends. And then it was announced next week that Miz and Carmelo Hayes will take each other on the number one contenders match next week. Brilliant. Kathy Kelly's backstage with Jimmy Uso. Well done. It's your birthday. And also, congratulations. You're going to be a daddy. Even though she kind of more celebrated him with the fact that It's just crap, isn't it? It's just crap. Sami Zayn, right? Fucking hugs him. Sami Zayn just has to leech on. Look at the state of Sami Zayn, man. Ginger, greasy rat bastard. That's what he is, man. No, that kid's already got an uncle than me, youth. Who would want Sami Zayn as your uncle, man? The weirdo uncle. You know what I mean? Would probably try and lure you into the basement. Not a fucking chance. I'm not interested in you, Sami. Back of the line, buddy. And then Solo came across and he went, I'm not dealing with You're not dealing with underdog Sami Zayn anymore. You're dealing with WrestleMania main eventer Sami Zayn. Yeah, the same Sami Zayn WrestleMania main eventer of night one, may I add, that main evented like 3 years ago. Mate, you're yesterday's news. You're shite. Move on. Charlotte Flair versus Piper Niven. Charlotte won. No, actually, Piper Niven won. That proves how much I know, people. Anyway, Kiara James was backstage telling Julia she's got business deals coming in the works. The Michin came out with a plastic face. Hello, you need to talk to me before you get to Julia. See this, pish. Who's actually sitting there watching this? Like, yeah, this is some good shit. Michin's like, well, I'm tired of the missed calls, and yeah, I'm going to go straight to the champ myself. How about you go straight to the recycling bin, Michin? Because that's where you belong, man. Look at the state of your face, Michin. Look at it. 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 I walk alone through this pit of danger. Anyway, show went to commercial. Big John. John comes out. Logan Paul came out, interrupted him. Brilliant. Right. I actually thought this was actually a pretty good segment between John Cena and Logan Paul. I say Cody Rhodes. Fuck, that guy doesn't know a good segment is. Anyway, Logan Paul's like, oh, it's so good to be back in England. And you know what? Now, if you're not aware, obviously, England and Ireland don't really like each other. But I think he missed a trick. Even though England's still pretty good to say, I think if he came out here and said it's good to be back in Britain, oh my day, that would have just been the icing on top. Because if you know your geography and you know your history, then you know. If you don't, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes there smacked. Even though it's much more interesting, the troubles and the history between Britain and Ireland and all that shite. I can't be arsed getting into it here. But anyway, it was good for Logan Paul. He calls them leprechauns, drunk, washed up failures. If I spat in your faces, you do nothing about it. You're a professional pretender, John. They're telling him to shut the fuck up. And he's like, I can't even cut my promo because they're bleeping you guys. And then I thought, well, once he's saying that, they're probably going to continue it. He's like, this guy, John, he's been doing the same 5 fucking moves for 23 years, buddy. Cena then fired back. He's like, you're undeniably talented. Here, you know all about the hustle, but you don't know dick about loyalty and respect. He gives him the middle finger as well. He's like, you know what? You've done 23 matches. I've done 23 years in the WWE. I wrestled Sheamus back in Dublin in 2010. There was no cameras here. Logan, you were still making Fine videos, which I thought was a pretty good line. He flipped over his Prime's truck, or his Prime's catering bit. He's like, oh, you just care about Pokemon cars. And he's like, you know what? That match in Clash at Paris is the most important match of your life, Logan. And that kind of ended the segment. Yeah, I'm going to beat the ever living shit out of you. But a good segment between these two. You know, when something's good, I'll say it's good. I would have liked it to have been back and forth, though. It was just Logan Paul said his bit, then Cena said his bit. Cena leaves. Bye-bye. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill backstage. Next. Logan Paul's walking backstage. McIntyre stops and he's like, you know what? Yeah, if this was 2010, John Cena, maybe you should be worried about him. But you know what? This ain't Super John. This ain't 2010 no more, brother. This is 2025, and he's no that guy. You need to defeat him, Logan. Logan. For fuck's sake, Logan. There, Logan. There, fucking there. Street Profits versus the MFT up next. I don't care. Street Profits win. Oh, Sami Zayn's in the crowd, and he looks just like a fan because he's a fucking loser. R-Proof appeared. It's supposed to be him versus Aleister Black, but Turns out he flew to the wrong Dublin. He flew to Dublin, Georgia. Never knew there was a Dublin in Georgia, but there you go. Dublin, Georgia just sounds a bit shite, doesn't it? Like, Dublin Island, it just works. I've noticed that, like, what places in America actually sound better than the places they're named after? Like, Birmingham, Alabama is actually probably as close as you'll get to a real one. Isn't it? You know, I think there's a place called New Glasgow in Canada. It's like New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, but Glasgow, Scotland just sounds fucking. That just sounds better. You know, the Americans and the Canadians, they just butcher pronunciation, man. And yeah, it just doesn't sound as authentic. You know, it's like fucking like I mean what other place in America is there? I mean, there's loads. I just can't get off me. I mean, imagine there was like Berlin, Massachusetts. It just sounded a bit shit. Damien Priest versus, I say Damien Priest. It was just Damien Priest and Aleister Black brawling with each other because R-Truth couldn't bother his arse. Drew McIntyre came out, interrupted it. Joe Testore and Wade Barrett. He said, "I'll tell you what's happened to Cody Rhodes. He's a little bitch." Then the camera zoomed in on. He's like, "Why are you people cheering me, man?" And then RKO to nowhere. So yeah. John Cena, damn it, he can appear, but where's Cody? Oh, he's filming that wee movie, Street Fighter. Good for him. Next week, a few matches get announced. I can't be arsed getting into it. Our main event, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, Tiffany win. I don't care. John Cena's walking backstage. Nick Aldis like, "Here, I just got word for Brock Lesnar." Cena's like, "What?" But before Nick Aldis can answer, Logan Paul runs up to John and punches him right in the face and runs off as the show goes off the air as John Cena is lying there, beaten and confused. Yeah, decent ending. Pretty much everything like McIntyre, Logan Paul, John Cena related was good tonight. Everything else, not so much. So, on that note, what do you hear? What do you say? Well, what do you hear? What do you say? I'll give SmackDown, like I said, I'll give it I think the main event stuff was actually decent. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. The rest's fucking unwatchable. But I thought Cena, Logan Paul and McIntyre all delivered good work. Hell, you want to throw it and then there for the RKO. It's a shame the rest of the show is just unwatchable, man. Anyway, till next time. Peace.